everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Deep State of Music. Episode 1, I taught you guys how to write your own tabs and how to play the beginning of Come As You Are. Now today I'm only going to focus on the main riff of Time of Your Life, because I believe once you get this main riff and you learn how to walk your fingers across that progression, then I'll make that part 2. Today, we're just going to focus on the main riff, which is also the intro. Because I want this to be as remedial as possible for you beginner players. And so I'm just using triads. I'm not using the full G major chord. I'm just using my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, my pointer on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then I have my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So I've kind of already went ahead and built out my little tab here. If you notice, I made my tab smaller because I want more space and room to work with than I did last time on the board. So I made it 4 frets. You see here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's go ahead and start with that first progression. So you saw that I was middle finger, so that's finger 2 is going to be on the 3rd fret, 3 there. Okay, I had my pointer, which is my finger 1, on the 2nd fret of the A string. See, we're just following along. That's that 3, 2 is that first part of that riff. Sorry, losing track here. Trying to keep the videos going so you guys don't lose interest. So the 3rd chord of that progression is the 3. Like you said, you're making a G chord, but I'm only going to do it as a triad for now, so until you guys fully get comfortable with your fingers in that way, and then we'll fully finish out the full G major chord, and then I can teach you guys the rest of the song. But until we get past this, let's just focus on keeping it simple. I don't want to say simple stupid, but keeping it simple, keeping it remedial, and keeping it as basic as possible so you guys can understand it. So you have your 3, 2, and your 3, and then the last note of that first chord progression is an open G string. So you can honestly put the 0 anywhere you want. I always recommend trying to keep the order. So you have that 3, 2, 3 on the B string, open on the G string. So what that will, you want to see it up close? So what that will come out to sound as will be like this. Here's that 3 on the E string, 2 on the A string, here's that 3 on the B string, and that open G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can just practice that. There's no rush. You play at your own time. I'm not a teacher here that's keeping you on the clock, charging you. I'm doing this all for free, all for love music. And then once you get the hang of it, you can start getting to the actual rhythm of the song. So that second part, we're only moving our middle finger and our pointer, which is our 1st and 2nd finger, from that same position you had it with the 3rd fret on the E and the 2nd fret on the A, and we're just moving it up 1 string on each. So now I have my pointer on the 2nd fret of the D string and my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. So this is what it's going to come out to. Notice my fingers aren't changing shape, just moving it up. And how that will look on your tabs. So let's go ahead and make a fresh tab for you guys. I'm going to do it the same way. 4 frets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings. Let's make our 4 frets again. 2, 3, 4. I'll just number the frets so you guys know. And look, so you see how we have that 3, 2 on the E and A. All we're doing is moving that up. So now that 3 is on the A string, and that 2 is on the D string. Now we're gonna keep this 3 on the B string, and you're still gonna finish with that open G. This little progression, the 3 on the B string and the open G, that never changes. The only thing that changes is the 1st and 2nd finger. You want to keep that ring finger locked down on that 3rd fret, because that's kind of like your home base. That's kind of like your cage system in this particular exercise. So now with just these two, we got this. Now, if that's too intricate or too complicated with the strumming, you can always just nice and slow, nice and easy. Now, the last part of this progression is you're going to bring your pointer finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the G string right here. You want to make a D chord, but right now we're just thinking in the most basic layers as possible. So really you don't need to play the G chord, the full D chord, because he doesn't hit that last string while he plays that initial riff. So you just want to have really a good foundation. That's why I said don't move that ring finger. All you gotta do is go from that 3, 2. You move your pointer to the 2nd fret of the G string, and you have your D. See? You want to add that middle finger, get the full D major. It's not necessary right now. It'll be necessary later on when we finish the song, but just for this riff, I really just want to focus on the simplicity of the arpeggio.